What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content related to growing your app business, whether it's through downloads and revenue. And we've been really fascinated by more of the retention and the monetization side because I'm sure we'll talk about here, growth is great, but if you're not retaining, if you're not monetizing, it's not going to really work out for you. Today, I've got a phenomenal guest and fellow podcaster. He's got a great podcast. If you're into mobile games, he's had some phenomenal CEOs and co-founders of some tremendous gaming companies. So you have to check out the podcast. It is called Elite Game Developers, or search for it in your favorite podcast app, or go to elitegamedevelopers.com. He actually started his own gaming studio that he later IPO'd, and we're going to learn all about how he's able to do that. But without further ado, let me introduce the guest. His name is Joakim Achren. He is the founder and CEO at Elite Game Developers, and he was a co-founder of Next Games. Joakim, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Steve. It's great to be here.
Do you see any common mistakes, whether it's through the podcast in your career? Do you see common mistakes that indie game developers have versus the ones that are funded in the bigger game studios?
Yeah, I think there's so many. It's tough to pick one. In a sense, when you're in gaming for a while, you start having all these ideas that you want to go after, that you never got to build your dream game. Now I'm gonna do it. But there's certain ways that is actually gonna be harming you later on. So I'm a big proponent of you want to find your audience versus making a game for yourself. Mm-hmm. I think that's the number one lesson that indies should think about. Of course, you could know the exact genre really well that you want to tackle with your own game, but start with the audience. Start thinking about somebody else than yourself enjoying the game. You want to entertain an audience, in a sense. That's the big takeaway for the indies.
Would you say that the biggest factor for retention is the core gameplay?
Definitely. From my experience from 15 years, that's totally yeah, anybody can come along and prove me wrong, but that's how I feel it usually goes. You can try out to, tackle a niche gaming audience that will then require a lot more built out, fleshed out features. If you want to go and tackle somebody like Marvel Strike Force with their JRPG gameplay, that's not going to be easy to just voodoo test that really to actually have something that you could say that this makes sense to go forward, because you're trying to beat an incumbent like Scopely with their game. So that's but if you're going after something that's real casual, if you're even going after something that might not be as casual as you think, but the core gameplay is sort of unique, I think that's worth already testing, and then just build on top of that.
It seems like, and look, I trust your 15 years, but it seems like instead of tweaking, hey, should I make these graphics better, or should I do this? It's work on the gameplay, sure. Right? You know what I mean? If you can get that right, you can polish the graphics. That's the easy part.
Yeah, or a tutorial. Making a better tutorial has never really blown the game from the bottom to the top of the list. So
you put that on lower priority. Don't focus so much on the tutorial too.
Exactly.
Oh, I like it. All right, you got any more?
I think in a sense you can already spot so much when you're playing the game between your teammates who are making the game and with your friends and family. You can already spot if this is going anywhere. And that's a big mistake that a lot of people do when they start thinking about free to play mobile, that they're building a game and they're sort of relying that the soft launch will save them. But oftentimes you should be able to spot problems before you need to put them into the app store. There's a lot of obvious things. If you then put it on the app store and your day one retention is 20%, Like you should have spotted that already earlier.
What are some of the mistakes that you see game developers making when it comes to monetization too?
Yeah, I think like, well, let's first talk about in-game ads. A lot of people like back in the day when mobile was coming up, ads were still like thought about like, yeah, this is gonna bring the quality so much down.
Yeah.
But eventually it really became something that, you know, if there is a game out there that doesn't have ads, I think Supercell is still without any ads inside their games. It's still, I think the whole thing about like saying that it's bad to have ads doesn't have any material like effect anymore. It should be that, you know, if you're thinking about like a different kind of user, you're going to have thousands of players. Not all of them will be spending, but a lot of them would love a rewarded video ad. Like that kind of functionality has been already in place for a while. And then if you think about like what the hyper casual people are doing, where they're forcing a lot of ads. When you complete a level, when you fail a level, you're going to look at an ad. I think that the great thing about that is actually it creates a pacing, which is important in mobile games, that you're not constantly like there can be this kind of thing of fatigue into like reacting quickly inside a game. So the ads really give you this kind of like mental like break from the hectic controls that you're doing in the game. So it gives great like these breaks and breathing room for the players, and also something that, hey, this might be the right place to just put my phone down. I can't start a level for the next 30 seconds anyways, so it breaks the session at a natural point in a sense. So that I think the big reason for people to quit mobile games is that they burn out. There's too much content, too much, you know, you're constantly going into a match in Brawl Stars. Like it's a crazy kind of like cadence that you need to keep up with. So ads are breaking that really nicely. And then thinking about like just in-app purchases, a lot of people say that it's really, really hard and casual to do in-app purchases, but I think it's so much about like how you approach your offering for your player. Like if you want to keep the players playing for weeks, for months, for years with your game, like a lot of people have managed to do that. I think there are ways that you can make them feel that, okay, I've been investing so much time. I'm happy to put some money down to get some cool new things inside the game, some new experiences. So that's what you should be thinking about if you sort of have this notion that IAPs are really hard in casual gaming. I think it's like, what is the experience that you're offering? There are people who are willing to pay, just like there are people who don't want to pay, who want to watch ads, who don't want to watch ads. It's a spectrum, big spectrum.